Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on this video. Happy solstice, June. This is the June solstice in 2024. Wow. Well, okay, so it's not quite the June solstice yet. We've got about 24 hours. Well, 10. Anyway, we're in the energy. The sun is about to move into Cancer, which is the beginning of summer in the northern hemisphere and the beginning of winter in the southern hemisphere. Did I say northern hemisphere? Okay, anyway, so we're looking at where the sun is the most hours of daylight in the year in the northern hemisphere. That's what we're looking at. And I created a little presentation for you so you can see what's going on astrologically when that hits. And I'm going to give you some advice on what you can do and how you can meditate and how you can work with this energy, because it's like this really special day, because we're either at the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere or we're in the shortest day of the year. So let me share my screen and you can see this little presentation. I always think of Stonehenge when I think of solstices, whether it's the winter solstice or the summer solstice. And the Stonehenge is in the UK. It's near Salisbury, it's closer to Amesbury, really. It's west of London. And you can see that the sun is rising or setting there. Okay, in between the stones. And that's the way it was set up in ancient times. And Stonehenge, those stones are very special. The way they were placed is very special. The energy that you feel, that I felt, I mean, not everybody feels it, but I felt that energy standing in the middle of those stones. My husband and I made sure that we got inside the stone circle at sunrise a couple of different times. So that was pretty amazing. And the energy there, you can really feel that I really felt like, oh, wow, okay, I have access to all the incoming information and energy that there is, whether it's coming through the sun or the moon or the stars or the cosmic points or the nebula, whatever it is, the light that's coming through, I have access to that information. So then it took me a while to figure that out and get it going and get it working. But hey, what the heck? So happy June solstice. The next day, so June solstice is the 20th of June, right? The June 21st is the full moon in Capricorn. The moon's in Capricorn. The sun, obviously, is still in Cancer, because it was when it hit the solstice, okay? So if we look at what in the world is a solstice, we can see the sun. These are all the signs of the zodiac. These are all the sun, moon, stars, and some different points that I like to put on there. And there is the sun at 0 degrees, Cancer. There's a little Cancer, there's 0 degrees. So there it is. And what is it doing? Okay, well, it's got a square over here to Neptune, which I'm going to be talking about. I have a whole slide for what's going on with Neptune, because that's pretty amazing. So there's a red one lines are like, ooh, there's activity here. I can do something with this. Whereas there's some beautiful flow with the blue lines. So the blue lines are showing flow and the red lines are showing, they could show up as challenges if you haven't worked through all your stuff yet. But it's just like, I love being in flow, but every once in a while it's like, okay, I'm going to get a little activation here. Something new is going to happen. Something new is going to get cleared. So we've got here with the 0 degrees Cancer. So on the 20th, the moon is still going to be in Sagittarius. It's in Sagittarius right now as I'm filming this for me on the 19th in the evening, almost 9 o'clock at night. But here it is at 15 Cap. And what is going on with this moon when the solstice hits is it hits the great attractor, which is a cosmic point of powerful energy that you can tune into. I help all my clients tune into this energy. And it's just this cosmic force. Right here is the galactic center. And we've got the galactic center and the Andromeda galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, and the Andromeda galaxy like each other a lot. Okay, and then they go and they get together at the super galactic center, and then a whole bunch of galaxies get together and they go into the great attractor, and then they go into the Shapley attractor, which is huge, and it's on 0 degrees Scorpio where Haumea is right now. And that's this dwarf planet that is like rebirth. So we're in the middle, our rebirth is being activated right now. So if you're feeling, the birth pangs, you're in tune with the cosmic. So congratulations on that. So we also have this rather interesting trine. You can see this beautiful flowing energy between Pluto and Sedna in Gemini and Aquarius, these two air signs. So there's this, and guess what? Even though it doesn't show, it's actually a grand air trine with the super galactic center. So there's lots of beautiful flowing air energy right now that we can play with that helps us. So we've got all of these ideas from Gemini. While the sun was in Gemini, we were just like, woo, lots of ideas, lots of sucking up knowledge. I, of course, ordered 3 books during the time that the sun was in Gemini and started following new people that I hadn't followed before. So that's very Gemini of me to do that during the sun in Gemini. But the sun's done with Gemini and it's in Cancer now, which is much more of a nurturing water sign. So it's time to now work more on our intuition rather than gathering information and perspectives, which is what we were doing in Gemini. If we were following the cosmic tides, which I personally recommend. My life is so much better since I started following the cosmic tides. I can't even tell you how I used to suffer and resist. And now it's like, oh, this is happening. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's just go with it. Very different from how I used to live. So here we go. That's what it looks like. Look at that. It's like at the top of the chart in Rosarito, where I live. It could be in a different house where you live. But this is where it is for me and for people living in San Diego. It's like at the, top of the chart. Okay, so what can you do to celebrate the solstice? Okay, one thing you can do is you can go outside and bathe in the rays of the rising or the setting sun. Now, we really don't want to stare at the sun when it's high overhead because it messes up our eyes and they start doing wonky things. But it's very safe to watch the sun rise and watch the sun set. And those are really powerful times of day. And the energy shifts during a sunrise and the energy shifts during a sunset. So when you really tune into that and feel, oh, wow, the sun is rising over here in the summer and it's rising way over here in the winter. And oh, the sun is setting way over here in the summer and it's setting way over here in the winter. Yeah, it does that. So figure out where your sun moves through the year. And then I'm sure you've been noticing that we've been getting more and more and more and more daylight. And now we're going to start getting less and less and less daylight. And yet we're still going to feel like it's summer. So we're just kind of, even with our eyes closed in the middle of the day, we can just like sit on the lawn or sit in the backyard or go to the beach and sit on the sand, listen to the ocean and just bathe in the rays of the sun. Okay. because light has information for us. And so we can ask the sun, what information do you have for me? And it might tell you, you never know. If you tune in and get quiet for a minute, just like let your mind go on vacation. It's like, okay, sometimes if I want my mind to go on vacation, it's very busy. Like it got very busy during Gemini season. I'll do this or I'll do this. See how I have my hands in a mudra? And I'll go to these points on my temples or these points right above my pupils. And it just calms my mind down so that I can just be like, hello, sun. You have any information for me? Oh, thank you. So it's just really quiet, gentle information. And then have a journal so you can write this stuff down. And then it's kind of interesting to go back and see what you came up with at these different points. Oh, wow. Last year at this June solstice, I was thinking this and this was going on. How interesting that it's similar, but has moved forward. So it's always kind of interesting. So this is the solstice, what you can do. So what is happening the next day? Wow, this is a really intense, amazing full moon because we usually don't have a full moon the day after the solstice, okay? But we do this year. So we've got in one day, the sun moved 1 degree. That's what it does. And it's actually 1 degree in 7 minutes. This was its exact time in Rosarito Beach, about the same time in San Diego. We're looking at 1.7 degrees of Capricorn where the moon is. And you can see where the moon was in Sagittarius, really close to the great attractor on the 20th when the summer solstice hit. Now it is in Capricorn. And guess what? We're getting a second full moon in Capricorn this month. It's going to be like late degrees, 29, 28, 29 degrees, something like that of Capricorn when the sun, no, it's actually, sorry about that. But I mean, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay, no, that really doesn't make sense. But anyway, we're having a beautiful line of activating energy, giving us a challenge. Now, challenges mean if you're still got plans that your ego created for you, and you're still comparing yourself to other people and judging people, I'm nice to do that. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I still do, and I have to remind myself, dude, you don't live there anymore. But it's just like, okay, so these lines of energy actually help us resolve the polarity of the signs. So instead of it coming out wonky, messing up my daily life or my circumstances or my situations, it's like, okay, so we've got this beautiful, nurturing home body energy of the sun in this beautiful earth water sign that's very telepathic in Cancer when the moon's sign is Cancer. So the sun is sitting in the moon's sign right now. It's going to be there for 28 more days. And then we've got Capricorn over here, which is an earth sign. And it's kind of like Capricorn is the last earth sign in the zodiac wheel. And so there's like a sense of earth mastery, being able to have ideas, soulful ideas, and being able to bring them practically to the earth and create something so that people will, be able to get out of their distractions and actually tune into something spiritual, something soul-based, like understanding what their soul came to do. Well, and some of the things that all of our souls came to do are the same, and some of them are unique because we're all unique and yet we're all part of the one. in my opinion. So here we've got all this beautiful, beautiful energy. So what's going on? Well, whenever the sun hits a star, I like to look up the star. And so this is right now, this is the Cancer June solstice star, and it's called Menkalyeng, and it's in the Auriga constellation, which is just north of Gemini. Okay, so yes, so even though the sun's in Cancer now, the stars that it's conjuncting aren't necessarily the stars in the constellation of Cancer, or the constellation of Gemini. It happens to be this constellation, which I'm going to show you a picture of in a minute. So we've got Cancer, Sun, and Capricorn Moon. So we've got this home nurturing, and we've got this achievement. So it's like we're saying, okay, so I want to be nurturing, but I want to have a business. Can I do them both? Well, yeah, if I nurture my clients. So that's kind of how I resolve the energy. But a lot of people like overwork and they don't spend enough time with their family, or they're just stuck at home all the time with the kids and they never get out. And so there's this deficit, and they're polarized in one side or the other. So it's really nice that so many of us get to work from home now. And I love working from home. And it's just wonderful to be able to nurture clients, and resolve this tension of this energy between Cancer and Capricorn. So Neptune, I was talking about this interesting square between Neptune. You can see it right there. It's still happening between the sun and Neptune. There's still this red line, this activating, do something kind of line. Okay. And what is going on with Neptune is, oh, okay. So with this star, Menkalyeng, we some of the books I have are advising us to pay attention to our dreams, our meditations, and if we do astral travel, to pay attention to that too. Astral travel just means it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the star. Okay. Oh, here I am. I'm gonna go to the galactic center, or I'm gonna go to the core of the earth. You just decide where you want to go and you go. It's not that big a deal. Neptune is conjunct the star Shiat, which is advising us to open our crown chakra so that this light energy, this information that wants to come to, that is coming to us, whether we open to it and receive it or not, okay, we're opening our crown chakra to receive what the light that's always coming in to light up what we already have within us, which is pretty much the entire cosmos. Okay, but when it's, how do you know what to tune into? There's so much, right? So for me, when the sun hits some of these stars, that's when I decide to tune into them, because that's the easiest, right? So we get in tune with that. And then for the next couple of days, this star is still going to be active. So the 20th and the 21st, tune into this star. If you've got any dreams, write them down. But for the next year, Neptune is at 29 degrees Pisces. Okay. She's going to go into retrograde, and she's going to come back before she and Saturn, look at Saturn's 10 degrees behind her in Pisces, they're going to go into Aries together next year. Isn't that exciting? But for the meantime, Neptune is conjunct this amazing, amazing star that happens to be on my natal moon too, right here. All of this is happening on my moon. Neptune is conjunct the star Shiat. It's just the one I was telling you about that helps us open up the crown chakra to these different lights and this different information. Different stars. Tune in to see what you think that these stars are bringing to you. Okay. So all of this is just really interesting information. So if I want to look at the star here, Menkalénen, this is what the star looks like. And this is its constellation. If the twins in Gemini are down here, and this is Auriga, okay, and this is Capella, which is the brightest star in this constellation. But Menkalénen is the second brightest star, and it's right here. And then you can see Elnath. And these right here are star clusters that were observed in the 1800s from a man named Charles Mesner, who really went crazy with his telescope, trying to tune into different fuzzy areas of the sky. And they call this one the kids, this little star, these little stars right here. But this is the constellation. It's kind of an interesting shape. I always like to move around the shapes of the constellation because it just seems to give me more information. Since these two are the brightest, I might just kind of like tune into this one because the sun's on it, and then go and see if I can tune into that one too. So Menkalénen, it's a kind of a blue star. And then the other one I was telling you about, Shiat, where Neptune is. The stars Shiat and Neptune are conjunct right now, and they're going to be conjunct for a whole year, like I was saying. So Shiat gives us information through the crown chakra. And when we really, the information that can come through, it can help us understand and connect to the larger cycles of our lives. It can help us pick up the threads of information, the lessons that we're learning on a soul level. And it can help us see larger evolutionary cycles. It can help us connect to the divine, to divine source, to infinite intelligence. It doesn't connect in the same way that religion or dogma do. It's much more an experience of light, actually. And you can just have your own personal connection to a larger awareness of a higher reality. Oh my gosh, amazing. So we might feel like, oh my gosh, here I am, 66. I've missed so many opportunities to work with this energy. But really, we can draw in our missed opportunities and work with this visionary energy. Okay. So here's the star Shiat. It's more of a yellow star. And here's the Andromeda Galaxy here, which I've been tuning into lately, which is really, really powerful. And here's one of my favorite stars, Mirage, in the Andromeda Galaxy. And there's Alpheratz, which is part of the Andromeda Galaxy. But Shiat's not in Andromeda, although it is its next door neighbor. It is actually in Pegasus constellation. So there it is, with Merkab, one of its others, and there's this little telling you that it's the Pegasus constellation. So it's like the Pegasus square, and then the little Pegasus has wings. So right here is Shiat, and it's really, really a powerful star. Like I said, it's right on my natal moon, and I used to feel like it was drowning, like it was the drowning star. Something was telling me they used to just like look for bad omens and all that kind of stuff, and things that would happen to you in your daily life or whatever, and you could drown, right? So they called it the drowning star, and I was always afraid I was going to drown in my Pisces moon at 29 degrees because it just felt overwhelming. And now I'm at a point where now that we've been living on the ocean, I've been healing for years, I feel more of a connection to this star and to the ocean. And I realized, oh, I know how to breathe underwater now. I mean, not literally, but figuratively. My Pisces moon and I are buddy-buddy now. And I can tune into my intuition. It doesn't scare me anymore. It used to scare me when it came in because the past, present, and future came in one split second and scared me. And now it doesn't scare me anymore because I know that everything is happening simultaneously and there really isn't any past or future. All we really have is right now. So that was a huge relief to me. And now I can feel like I can go to the bottom of the ocean and retrieve what is there. And so I'm writing this section in my book right now where I'm talking about the nine chalices at the bottom of the ocean. So that is what I'm working on probably for the next year while Neptune is right on my moon, right on the star shield. Lot happening intuitively for all of us. We can really, really tune into our intuition. So in closing, happy June solstice. If you want to be part of my new moon ceremony, the next one's happening on June 6th. It's a Saturday at 10 a.m. And I would love to have you come. If you want to make sure that you get all of the notices and the emails and all of that, then just on this, if you're on my Facebook right now watching this, just private message me and I'll get you on my email list. And if you these are free new moon ceremonies, by the way. And if you are on my email list, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you are one of the beloved people who subscribe to my YouTube channel and you want to uh, be on my email list and get free gifts and discounts and all that kind of good stuff, then I'll have my email address in the show notes and you can email me and see what you want to do. So I do some private client readings, but mostly I do new moon ceremonies. That's my free offering. And so love and blessings. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy the longest day of the year and enjoy the full illumination. And one of the things you can meditate on with the new moon, this is with the full moon, which is always true. You can go into your meditation, go into the eye of the heart, like I always tell you on my new moon ceremonies. You can go into the eye of the heart and ask the question, what is being illuminated? What is being illuminated? So, love and blessings to all of you. Happy solstice, happy full moon. And